So hello everyone. So in this video I'll be showing my 2 days journey in one of the Brazil's first national park. I know what you heard, that's right. So Parque Nacional Itatiaia was the first national park established in Brazil. So we walked for 2 days around the national park. It's not like a complete circle, but it's just half of it, and it's called as Travessia Serra Negra. So we are walking across this national park. So I'm using this application called Relive. That's actually tracking my live location with how we're walking on the park, so that you know how exactly we have been going through the circumstances. So I'll be showing you the videos. We have done some recordings and drone footages. So I'll show you all those things in this video. So we started our journey on the first day around 1 AM on midnight. So we all met in Rio de Janeiro, and we started our journey, which was around like 5 hours of road trip. So you can see the sunrise. That was a beautiful sunrise we had. And this park is almost on the top of the mountains. This mountain is from Sao Paulo, what you saw in the sea now. Right now we're in Rio de Janeiro. Park entrance. These are the fees of the park entrance visit. For a Brazilian, we have different prices, and for a foreigner, we have different prices. And this is the map of the park. Now, this park is located between 2 states. It's between Rio de Janeiro and Minas Gerais. So we start at Rio de Janeiro and we end at Minas Gerais. So this is what the Travessia or the Trilha is about. The marking in the red color is what we are walking. This is called Travessia Serra Negra. As you can see, there are already a lot of people waiting to enter the park. So apart from this, there are other trilhas too. There are small one-day trilha. There are waterfalls. You can do camping. You can even climb mountains in this park. It's a really beautiful place to visit, and also it's pretty cold. Even you can see frozen places in the winter season. So we started our journey, and this Travessia is for 2 days. So we were the only group that have been doing in this Travessia, but we saw other people doing other things like climbing mountains and other things. So what you see behind my back is Agulha Negra, which is a famous one of the 5th highest mountains in Brazil. I've climbed it before, but this time I'm not climbing that mountain. And this is our crew, the family. You see, he's the guide. The guy with the drone is my guide. There are 2 guides for this. Since we were 12 people, we have 2 guides. One is in the front and one will be at the back. And when you see this logo, the park logo, you have this frog. It's called the Sapo flamenguinho. So this frog is found only in this park only. We don't find it elsewhere. That is the reason they have this frog as their emblem in their logo. And this is the toad, because this frog likes cold weather and doesn't like heat. And you find this frog only in early mornings or in the evenings. So you see them jumping across, when you're walking. They're so tiny. They're like a small dollar coin kind of a size, and they're quite venomous also. Not for the humans, but for the other insects or animals, they're quite venomous. For humans, it doesn't harm us, or we have no impact upon it. So here I tried to fly my drone, but it was already cloudy. It was quite foggy, and I couldn't get a very good view, what I wanted to show you. So you can see already it's been like so foggy, and it's difficult, I can either lose my drone, so I didn't want to do that. So At this place there are two trails. One, we go on top of a mountain where the view is really good. It's really amazing, but luckily we did not have any view. This is a view we had, but still, people told me the view from here is really amazing. You can see the other side of the mountains. So we came down and we started our journey back, and you can see how the crew is already going ahead of me. I was a bit slow, frankly speaking, because my bag was heavy. It was around 16 kilos because I was camping. I had all my accessories for camping, and my drone, my camera, the batteries for it, and it was water, food. So it was a bit heavy, but still I managed to keep up the pace. I was just like 5 to 10 minutes behind them. And all within these 2 days, I never had any issue for drinking water, because we had a lot of water resources and it was really fresh and pure. Trust me, it's like you don't need any iodine or chloride tablets. You can just pick it up from your bottle and you can drink it just like that. It's so pure, transparent and fresh, because we don't have any inhabitants or any humans to contaminate this water. It's 100% fresh and pure forest water or mountain water. You can see how crystal clear the water is. So then we started our journey. We're still walking all the way across. So this guy, the guy in the green shirt, is our second guide. Since I told you we have two guides, one will be always in the front and one guide is in the back, because we were of 12 people, so it's always good to have two guides, because some of us walk fast, some of us walk slow, and people like me who record do walk slow. So it's always good to have a guide in the back, and you can just look at the view. This is the best thing. It's like I have no words to describe the view, the feeling, the coldness of the air, the atmosphere. I want to especially talk about this waterfall. This is called Cachoeira Aiuruoca. So the importance of this waterfall is this is like in the highest place. Like when you look at the Brazils, in the highest position, this is the first waterfall. So I never knew this, because I never expected I would visit the first, not like the highest waterfall in Brazil, in highest position. Though the waterfall is just 20 meters, but still the mountains are in the top range and the location itself is in a very high region. So this is the highest waterfall in the entire Brazil. So if you get a chance, I do insist you go visit it. But the water is also quite frozen, it's cold, but yet it's quite amazing to visit and have this experience. So till now, whatever we walked, it was kind of open space, open terrain. But now after this waterfall, all you walk is inside the forest. You have a lot of trees, bushes, and there is no chance of getting lost, trail is marked perfectly, and there's no way that people get lost or get abandoned. It's just one way and we just keep following it. So from this position we can see the waterfall again of the Cachoeira Aiuruoca, but the view is not good because we are at a very long distance. But the view of this mountains itself is a different feeling, especially for those or people like me who love mountains, who are crazy about mountains. It's definitely a different experience for us. So what I find really different is like it's easy to climb any mountain, but getting down is, when we're walking down, we have to be quite careful, because sometimes we are so negligent and we might even trip and fall. So my best advice is always be careful while you're walking down, because that's really important. Now this is another waterfall. I don't know the name because there's nothing specific name for this. And also we couldn't access it because we were already near a different path, a different thing to complete. And to visit that and come back, we would waste more than like another 1 hour. So time was precious for us. So we didn't visit that waterfall. And this place you can actually camp, just in case you come. It's an abandoned house. But you cannot stay inside because inside is quite messy up. It's not good to stay inside. But if you like to camp, you can camp outside or you can sleep. And we had to cross this small waterfalls or a river. And for a while we had this river following us, or we were walking next to it. So you could, if you want to take bath or a shower, if you want to drink water, you always had water next to us. And this was another abandoned farm. People used to live here once upon a time, but now no one lives here, so it's quite abandoned. Even they have a water, like the river next to their house, so it's really good. They were lucky, people who were lucky to have a waterfall. And we do have water sources like this everywhere, so getting fresh water is never an issue. And this is not a rock. Even I thought it was a rock, but this is like an ant. This is made up of ants. I was quite surprised to see it was more than like 6 feet. It was taller than 6 feet. And you find this quite often across our hiking. So finally around like 5 o'clock we reached this place. This is where we were taking rest, or we were supposed to camp. So right now we are in Minas Gerais. This is called Pousada, Pico, Travessia Negra. So we stayed here for the night. It was only 2 of us who did camping. The rest of them took the hostel. So it's a really beautiful place. I would definitely recommend everyone to visit this. So all this is a drone view. I took all the shots from my drone. So basically the people who live here, their food source is basically they cultivate sugarcane, they graze cattle, you get milk, butter and cheese. So these are the main staple source of income for them. So they grow all these things over here. And apart from this, there's one more important thing. I think most of you might have heard the name of trout. It's a fish variety. So people farm this fish. It's mainly they grow it here because the trout needs fresh water and it also loves cold water. And we have both of these things abundant here. You get fresh water, you have cold water, and it's a perfect place to farming trout. So people who love fish, and this is where they farm the fish. This is a place they get the water from the mountains, the fresh water. And I thought of taking, I was looking for the fish, but they were really small at the moment. They are not big in size, so I couldn't capture the fishes. But this is the exact place where they farm trouts. So we are back to our day 2. So this is our breakfast. You see, all this thing is done here. All the cheese, everything is prepared on this place. So for 5 minutes we just have to walk across the road, just for 5 to 6 minutes, it's not more than that. After that we have a place where we are supposed to go to Maromba. So this this stretch of mountain, it's like you have to ascend a lot, you have to climb a lot. After that, it's pretty easy. Then it's like a plain surface, you just walk. I didn't take more videos because I was busy in climbing, so I didn't take the videos of me while climbing. But after reaching the top, you can see my other videos. So this is the top. You also have another water source, and this is also drinkable. It's very good. And we also have an abandoned house here, but no one lives at this house at the present, so it's abandoned. And you can see the view of this mountain. We're already on top of the mountain. The view itself speaks a lot about this place. I need not explain anything. So once we reached the top, the clouds actually closed everything. It started to rain, and I love to walk in the rain. I really love rain, so for me it was like perfect, and I was enjoying the rain and walking, and it was peaceful. It's a different experience altogether. So as soon as it started to rain, the clouds kept on moving, and little by little I could capture the beauty of the nature. And after like within few seconds, the clouds were gone, and that is when we got this beautiful scenery. I love this particular place because here you have it's like a garden of flowers. It's a natural garden. You have flowers of pink and white combination, and it's amazing. Trust me, it's so amazing to see this kind of flowers there. That's why you also see my pic of, my profile pic as this. And after this, it's all walking. There's no more like climbing or anything. It's just walking across the mountains on top of it. It's very quite comfortable. You don't need much of stress or anything. So at this point, you find places like this where you have to walk in different conditions. So you need to prepare yourself for this kind of terrain also. Luckily, it was not raining. It was not like a very bad raining. But to my experience, I would say this would be quite messy when it rains. It would be highly uncomfortable because the soil is not steady. It's quite loose. And with rain, it would be quite uncomfortable too. This is again the ant sounds, and now it's all walking down. There is no way that you will get lost for sure because there are no other routes. So even people who go for the first time, I'm sure you won't get lost. Even if you get lost, you will just go in a small circle, but you will never get lost in the forest. The most important thing I want to advise you to always have a good equipment or good gear, especially shoes. You need to have a very good shoes because without good shoes it would be highly uncomfortable or you might find yourself in bad situations because you're going to walk, it's going to be out. It might be dry or wet, skiddy or slippery. So it's always good to have a very good shoes, especially. So always have a good shoes or good clothes because it's going to sweat a lot. We sweat a lot, and we need to wear a very comfortable clothes too. It's also good to have a head cap because we sweat a lot, so we don't want our sweat to keep interfering into our eyes or mouth. So if we have a head cap, the sweat stays there. So at this point we are almost done with our hiking because we're done with climbing or getting down the mountains. So from here we have a established road, we have a proper road. So we are almost to the end of our journey. So from here we can just walk on the road. You can see the beauty of these mountains, and that's really beautiful. I mean, it's a different experience. So we have to walk all the way across the road to go down where we have our van waiting for us. So when you see these mountains, you see a few places where it's quite green. It's not like trees, because here they graze cattle. Because these regions are quite famous for grazing cattle. So I usually see like somewhere around 100 to 200 cattle, but at the moment we only had few of them. So you see, this is how they graze cattle. It's in mountains. It's always in mountains. And this is a fancy car. You always find this car in Brazil a lot, and I'm also surprised they still are in working condition. And we almost reached our car at the end. And here we have one more waterfall. It's called Santa Clara. So since we were already tired, exhausted, and it's already sweating a lot, it was the time to take a dip inside the water and refresh ourselves. And this is also my drone view. So we started our journey back to home, to Rio de Janeiro. From here it's almost like 5 hours again back to home. So I hope you liked my video, because this is a 2 days combination of video. So it's a different experience, and I wish I could motivate you also to go and visit this or have this experience. So have a good day and enjoy. Thank you.